Yo, how's it going guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be doing something quite interesting actually. I did it at the start of my FIFA 19 YouTube journey, the whole YouTube journey really. We did it looking at the most used team in FIFA 19. Today we are going to be doing the most used FIFA 20 team. So, before we get into it, if you enjoyed this video, smash a like down below and subscribe for a lot more FIFA 20 content. There should be reviews, all sorts coming out very soon. It's just about having a look at, based on Footbin, who are some of the most used players in the game. And it was something interesting last year because we had Fabinho and he was on over, well, it said like 700 million games, which I find bizarre. Like, was he actually used that much? This year, the ones I've looked at, they haven't been used anywhere near as much, and for whatever reason that is there just more variety in this year's game? Because the likes of Fabinho last year, he was in everyone's team all the way to the end. Mine, Kante was in mine so much. And maybe there is more variety, maybe for once there is a bit more variety in teams. You might not feel like it, and when you look at this list, it definitely doesn't feel like it, especially with the goalkeeper. To be honest guys, he's the best goalkeeper in the game, no wonder everyone uses him. Amazing links to German centre-backs, La Liga centre-backs, you can just use him so well. Even on 8 chemistry, he will just be an absolute bargain for you, just a really solid keeper. He's still like 40,000 coins. All goalkeepers this year seem to be pretty low value. He's the best one I've used this year. Most consistent, really good. And he's had 9 million games. I believe it's about across both consoles. I think they base it on what's on the transfer market, and then that is how many games they have played. It's not 100% accurate. It just gives obviously it's not 100% accurate. It just gives an indication as to who has the most games. Ter Stegen, right back, 184 games for me. No wonder. 2 assists, that is garbage in 184 games. We've got Nelson Semedo. He's had 8 million games approximately on the card. Most used right back. No wonder. Pace, links, everything about this card is really good. 4-star skill moves as well. 3-star weak foot. Medium high as well. I didn't even realise medium high because sometimes always bombing up the pitch. But he is really good, and no wonder again he is so used. Centre backs are obvious. Eder Militao, medium high, so quick in game, strong, defensive beast. People can use him. I used him maybe last weekend or the weekend before in Weekend League. Managed to get easily to goal 3. Stopping at goal 3, he was just perfect. He was really good. For a card that cost 2,000 coins, you can't complain. The other centre-back spot, one that I didn't like as much, Clement Lenglet. He is decent. I think a lot of people really like him. For me, I personally didn't like him too much at the time. I much preferred Varane, but he was cheaper by a long shot. He was expensive at the start. I remember like 90,000 coins. Varane was maybe 200,000. Went for Lenglet. He was decent, but he did cost me quite a lot of times. So for me, Lenglet, it makes sense that he's got in there, but I prefer Varane. I think it's just cost-wise. People went for Lenglet. Left back is an obvious choice. Ferland Mendy, I have his Shapeshifters card at the moment. It's cracked. It's honestly cracked, guys. It's so good in game. This one here, though, for a base 80 rated card, I don't even remember packing him all game. I have packed Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't believe I've packed a Ferland Mendy. 80 rated card. How can he be so rare? Well, because he's so good. He held his price so much for an 80 rated card. You could tell he was absolutely quality, and he wasn't really being packed as much. So it's definitely pack weight varies based on rating. But this Ferland Mendy, and I missed out how many games. Eder Militao, 5.9 million games. Clement Lenglet, he has 7.2 million games. Sorry about that. And then Mendy, he has 6.2 million. Insane. So you can tell the sort of a consistency. They're all around the 6 million mark. Lenglet with 7. You can tell that back line is probably just the most overused one in FIFA 20. At the right wing spot, Ousmane Dembele, a card that I hit and miss with really. 8 million games again. Links to the Semedo, play 4-5-1, you get him in perfect chemistry. 5-star, 5-star, high medium. Stats are decent, to be honest. He's got decent composure, decent finishing. I think Fuji still uses this card in his team. I used him as a sub sometimes. His road to the final card is amazing. Up next, we go for the Frenkie de Jong wants to watch card. This card came out, it wants to watch, was it like the first week or something, second week? Very good card. Medium high work rates, stats across the board are very good. Obviously this is the upgraded one, but it's the wants to watch which has the 8 million games on. No surprise, links to Messi, links to the likes of Suarez, Lenglet, Umtiti. Really good card, and he links to like Virgil van Dijk, so you could do hybrids. There are obvious reasons which make these cards so good. He not only plays so well, but he has so many good links, which includes him in this list. Up next we have Fabinho. Now he was the most used player last year. Insane card last year. This year not so good. I haven't really used him for an extended period. I preferred Fernandinho, to be honest, at the start of the game. Fernandinho got me elite at the start. This one, 6'2", medium high. I think it's more suited to smaller midfielders, the likes of Kante, Frenkie de Jong. I'd prefer to this Fabinho card. Not as good as last year, but still a very good card. And under 8 million games played shows how popular he still is. I just don't feel like I come up against him too much. The left wing come up against him pretty much every game now. He's still so expensive, so this did surprise me that he was on this list. Shows me a lot of people do have coins this year. And Neymar, he is honestly one of the top 5 players in the game. Really, really enjoyable. 5-star, 5-star. For me, he goes missing sometimes, but then sometimes he will score 4 goals. He'll be absolutely phenomenal. So he deserves a place in this team. And for Neymar, 6.4 million games approximately on the card. And it doesn't surprise me for a card. He's just so good, and he's like a cheaper alternative maybe to your likes of Messi, Ronaldo. It would be weird to see this guy in the team without Neymar, so Mbappe comes in next, and he's in my main team still. He is so good. Insane finishing, dribbling, pace, incredible card, work rate, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. If you don't know by now, Mbappe is insane. And to complete the team, we have Ben Yedder. Ben Yedder, 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot. High work rates. It's the 85 rated inform, which does actually make it into the most used team. Doesn't surprise me, to be honest. He is so annoying to play against. I have the play of the month on my account, which is just so good. Insane finishing. The weak foot is nuts. The pace, everything about it is incredible. So that is the starting 11, guys. If you were to use this in FUT Champs, I think it would be very viable. Obviously, you would probably take Fabinho out for maybe a Sissoko, something like that, to get better links. But as a whole, it looks very meta. And then we are in March, and this team looks like you could go in, you could play so well with it. Ben Yedder on the card, in total, he must have a crazy amount of games. 8 million on this one. And Mbappe did actually have the 6.7 million. So you can tell that them 2 cards will have been linked. Them 2 cards, Neymar and Mbappe, will have been linked. There's so many strong links, and I think that's what makes sense. You link these cards together, they're obviously going to be played heavily together. These are some noticeable admissions, some which shocked me. Bernard, 6 million games. Gini Wijnaldum makes it up there. Kante, Delaney, inform from the first week. And how can we forget Moussa Sissoko, 445 games for me, 13 goals, 57 assists. He is just a freak on this game. I could still run him now in my midfield. He would just be incredible. As for my main team at the moment, this is it now. And do I have many of them players in? Well, we do have Ferland Mendy, but the Shapeshifters card. We have Ben Yedder and we have Mbappe. So I think it shows that EA focus on the cards that people are heavily using. They give them decent boosts and they maintain them in your team, because there seems to be a certain feel about some cards like Mendy, like Mbappe, like Ben Yedder. You can't replicate it with many other players on this game. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, smash a like down below and subscribe for a lot more FIFA20 content. It's just been fun. If you'd like to see any player reviews, let me know down in the comments, and let me know, do you still use any of these players? Is there any that you thought would make it into the list? Or is there anyone that you think people should try out? There's a lot to ask for, but see you later.